Antigua and Barbuda like brother and sisters. We are blessed with the best natural resources. Unrivaled are we in the tourist industry. Together we aspire, together we achieve. Like one family, and that's the way it should be. Yet we are perceived as beggars and thieves who don't have a choice but to accept the crumbs that you give. We must have a say. Is that so hard to understand? We must have a say according to the Constitution. We must have a say in the way we are governed. We must have a say when it comes to Barbuda land. Because if we are to be a democracy, oh yeah, yeah, then how can you always dictating to me? I say if we are to be a democracy, oh yeah, yeah, then how can you always dictating to me? When it comes to development in Barbuda, this is the forefront of the obstacles we encounter. When you fail to engage us in consultations, you are only inciting violence and frictions. We'll fight to protect our democracy, our piece of the rock that's the source of controversy. Our council deserves a seat at the table. So at the end of the day, we have a mutual understanding. We must have a say. Is that so hard to understand? We must have a say according to the Constitution. We must have a say in the way that we are governed. We must have a say when it comes to Barbuda land. Because if we are to be a democracy, oh yeah, yeah, then how can you always dictating to me? I say if we are to be a democracy, oh yeah, yeah, then how can you always dictating to me? There's a process that applies to any new project. It is imperative that we follow it step by step. It is important that we conduct our due diligence to maintain our integrity and be transparent. But we're often ignored, we're often bypassed. There's no decorum to foster good relations. So we have to protest to defend our birthrights. We won't be pushed over, so approach us with care and caution. We must have a say. Is that so hard to understand? We must have a say according to the Constitution. We must have a say in the way that we are governed. We must have a say when it comes to Barbuda land. Because if we are to be a democracy, oh yeah, yeah, how can you always dictate to me? I say if we are to be a democracy, oh yeah, yeah, then how can you always dictate to me? When in exchange we keep walking away empty-handed. The standard most done. We have no beachfront. There's nothing to show. We're still lacking infrastructure. We barely